savings, that's amount of money you put away for something later in the future. That cash that you put away that is accessible to you, that is easily accessible, that you can get a hold of from your income, from whatever is coming in. So that's savings. Many people have asked me, how can I save effectively? And I have I've observed from the work that I do that the issue isn't the willingness to save. The issue isn't that people don't want to save. The issue really is the income that people always feel is not enough. Like, I have so many obligations. People will say, oh, I have so much that I want to do. I have so much responsibilities. How can you ask me to save? Even the income that I am getting right now, it's not even enough for what I need to do. Then you're asking me to save part of that. I want to be able to earn more, first of all. And so what I find is people tend to defer saving to, I will start saving when I earn this amount of income. I'll start saving when I have so much. Now, the reason why I am speaking about savings today is to encourage you that already, if you have a willingness to save, I would say, well done. That's lovely. That's really the first step. And to say, whatever, no matter the amount of responsibilities you have, to just get into the habit of saving. So don't just wave this away. Don't say, oh, that does. For example, I have told somebody before that when the person said, oh, I don't have enough to save, I said, oh, okay, do you have, I am speaking to working professionals, right? So I said, do you have $20 to spare monthly? And the person was just looking at me like, obviously, of course I do. Now, if you have $20 that you can spare monthly, then start with that. Don't wait until you want to start saving $100 or $500 or thereabouts. Start with, even if it's $5, I'm telling you, it is money. A $5 is a $5. A dollar is a dollar. Start with something. It's the habits that I want to encourage you to build. So start with $20, start with $5, start with $10, start with something. Start with whatever is comfortable to you right now that you can just form a consistent habit of doing. So that's really the value I hope you get in this episode today, to start building that habit of actually putting that money away, not the amount, but just get into the habit first of all. Like, automate it, automate $20, automate $5, automate whatever is you are comfortable with right now. And chances are, as you get into that habit, for example, let's say $5, let's even say $5, that's really small, in a month. So at the end of the year, that's 5 times 12 months, right? That's $60. That is really nothing in the scheme of things for somebody that is thinking, oh, I want to start big. But don't look at the $60. Look at, if I can put away $5 every month, how about if I change that to $10? How about if I change that to $20? Look at the feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of, okay, I can actually do this. Look at the emotions. Look at how that contributes to your financial wellness at the end of the year. That's what you should look at. Are your finances like a messy pile of papers scattered across a table? You don't know where to start and it feels so overwhelming. Imagine if someone could organize those papers into labeled folders, making it easier for you to take action at the moment that it's needed. Look, you might feel disorganized about money, even ashamed to talk about it. If you would rather feel in control about money, connect with us at wealthedge.ca. That's wealth-ed.ca. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you a template that I will put in the show notes of what I call a savings playbook. So it's just a simple Excel. You can play with it. There are some very simple formulas that are in there. You can just play with it. So let's go right now to the playbook. Well, here I'm going to be showing you what I call my savings playbook that you can play with. The formulas are already there. It's just a playbook that, to make you really feel what it means, what I mean by saving consistently. So I know I said start with $5, start with $10, but the goal really that I will encourage you to achieve, if this is something you're considering, is to at least have $100 saved from every paycheck. Now, if your paycheck, assuming your paycheck is twice in a month, that's every 2 weeks, and you want to save $100 from every paycheck, that's an assumption. So let me move this one right here. Okay. So assuming you want to save $100 every paycheck. So $100 every paycheck, that's $200 in a month, assuming that there are 2 paychecks that you're going to get in a month. So let's assume that you're starting in March 2025 and you said, okay, you're saving $200 now. Note that here in this place, I'm going to highlight it in yellow. Note that I have put here 1.2% because it's just kind of like a nominal. It's just an example. Ideally, I don't expect, because it's savings. So the goal isn't to have so much returns on this money. The goal is just to preserve the capital. The goal is to keep the money away. So that's why you see I put 1.2%, just like, okay, that's like an average. You may get less, you may get lower, depending on where you decide to save your money. So anyway, so I just wanted to say that this is the goal of the saving, is to preserve your capital, to have cash somewhere, allocated somewhere, kept away somewhere, so that you can use it for whatever goal you have. So now, back to this, what I was saying in terms of paycheck, you have $200 per paycheck. You can see this is the amount of money that you have. Now, after assuming you have a goal of, I want to save for the next 3 years, that's 36 months, up to February 2028, then this is the amount of money you're going to have at the end of February 2028, just keeping the money there. Now, this is on a $100 per paycheck, and for 3 years. 3 years, believe me, 3 years come by quickly. 3 years will come by quickly. So this money, it's something good that you can have at the end of the 3 years. Now, chances is that even before the expiration of the 3 years, haven't gone into this habit, chances are you are so impressed with yourself that you even increase the amount of savings you want to be doing at every paycheck. Chances are at the end of the 3 years, you even have more that you want to, that you have saved that way. So this is assuming, for example, if your monthly salary is 1,000 and you save if your paycheck is 1,000 net and you save maybe 10% of that, that's $100. Now, of course, adjust this in line with your own personal finance. Savings can also be goal oriented. So this 3 years, what do you want? For example, you can say, I want to save my 6 months, maybe I want to save my 6 months salary. Now, in the example that I gave, if your monthly take, if your paycheck take home every 2 weeks is 1,000, so that means in a month you have 2,000. Now, if you want to build an emergency fund of 6 months, which is at least what you should aim to build, so that is 2,000 in a month times 6 months. So that means you should plan to have an emergency fund of 12,000, and you can have a goal of saving 12,000. You can start, like in this example that I gave, you have a goal of building an emergency fund of 12,000. You already have 7,000. It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. And like I said, chances are you are going to even improve on this as time goes by. Now, you can also have a goal. For example, you may want to buy a house. You may want to just save towards buying a house. You may want to have a goal, maybe you're pursuing further education, or maybe you are starting a project. The important thing is to start with something small, by, little by little. Start with something small to build the habit. Automate the savings. Yeah, this is very important. I need to say this. Automate it. Don't say, oh, you're going to manually do it at every paycheck. What I have found to be helpful to me is I try to automate my savings into a financial institution that it's not my regular financial institution. Why? Just so the amount of money in that savings account is not easily accessible to me, so that I can't have access to it. Like, for example, if I have my savings in the same bank account where I have my checking account, chances are I may want to dip into it. But if I have it in another place that is not my regular bank, it's not my regular financial institution, but of course, the place, do your research, make sure that you are making informed decision. It's a regulated institution. Chances are you're not going to be, you can still access the cash, but it takes some effort, and it takes that extra effort. Chances are it's going to prevent you from using that money for things that are not relevant. So that's for example, let me give you an example. You could research it, like Wealth Simple. I just so much like Wealth Simple. I use them as well. I just automate from my regular bank to Wealth Simple. Now, the cash there in my savings account, if you use Wealth Simple, the cash there is easily accessible to you, but it takes some effort for you to move it back to your regular bank. So that may be helpful to you to do it that way. I'm going to be putting this playbook. I'm going to be putting the free template in the show notes. You can download it, you can play with it, you can change the numbers. For example, if you say, oh, okay, I can only try right now to do $50 every paycheck, and that's going to be, an estimated amount of $100 every month. You could change it, like you see here. I changed it. You could just change it for the next maybe 1 year, or for the next 14 months, and then you see that the value of your savings would have reduced to 5,000. But at least start with something. That's the point. So change it to whatever is convenient for you. You could change this to 500. As you can see, you can change it to any amount. You can play with the numbers. But the key takeaway that I hope you take away from this is automate it. Make sure that it's automated, that you don't have to manually, go into your bank account to move the money to your savings account every month or every paycheck. Make sure it's automated, and make sure you just start with a baseline. That's going to be your baseline. What I mean by baseline is start with $5, start with $10. It doesn't matter. Don't look at the amount. Just start with something. At least that baseline means that you're not going to go below that. So that's what I mean by baseline. Start with that. If you know that, okay, $100 is going to be a stretch, then of course start with $50. That's your baseline. You can always increase that as your situation improves, but start with something, build a habit, and hopefully at the end of some certain period, when you review what you've done, you are happy with yourself. It's just the feeling that, oh, I can do this, that really matters. And I hope that's valuable to you in some way. See you on next episode.